me, Gemma, your friendly Pilates teacher. I just thought I'd put a few videos together for you, about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, just to get us started with a few essential Pilates moves and exercises. I just wanted to keep everybody fit and healthy over the next couple of weeks, so let's see how things pan out before we can get back into the studio. But in the meantime, I hope that you find these videos helpful. If there's anything you want to know, anything you want to explain, just drop me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, okay, let's get started. So we're just going to lay down onto the mat. So roll yourself back down onto the mat, stretch out long, just let everything go. We're going to start by taking a lovely deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And remember that these breaths need to be big, full and 3D. So as you breathe in, imagine your t-shirt is expanding and filling up the room. And as you exhale, let everything drop into the mat. Now just have a little checkpoint that the head is heavy into the mat, the shoulders, the back of the ribs, the pelvis, all the way down to the feet. You've got this lightness behind your head and this lightness behind your waist. So let's take a few more deep breaths in here. So as you breathe in, have this feeling of lightness, and as you breathe out, let's sink into the mat. Just let go of any tension that's in the neck, or let the chin come off of the chest. We start to breathe in and out. Okay, one more breath here. And out. Okay, let's begin with the first move. We're going to go into the 100. So we're going to bring our feet in, feet onto the ground, sit bone distance apart, heels quite close to the bottom. And we're going to stretch our fingertips forward and lift the head and the shoulders up off the mat. You can always support the back of your head or your shoulders with a Pilates ball or a cushion, anything you've got, a rolled up towel. And we're going to stretch these fingertips forward, and you can start to beat the arms. And you're going to breathe in for 5 counts and out for 5 counts. So these breaths are as deep and as full as we were at the beginning. So breathing in and out. So we want to be out into this curled up position and still using our center, but still being able to breathe fully and get all the oxygen into our body. So keep pumping the arms. This is going to warm us up. We can stay at this level, or we can move up to the next level. You can take both legs up towards the ceiling, shins parallel with the ceiling. Keep tucking that pelvis under, keep beating those arms. On those in-breaths, reach forward, come up off the mat. That little bit further on those in-breaths. Keep these arms strong. Okay, if the head gets heavy at any point, feel free to take your head down, but we want to try and strengthen that neck. So we're going to keep pumping the arms. We can stay at this level, or we can take our legs back, or we can take our legs out straight. The higher it is, the little easier it is, or we can start lowering our legs towards the floor and take them up towards the ceiling. We can carry on with that, or we can take your legs back to that tabletop position. Keep stretching forward, keep breathing. In for 5 counts, out for 5 counts. Really deep, full breaths into the center. And let's do that one more time. You're nearly there. Keep pumping the arms. Breathe in for 5 counts and out for 5 counts. And lower the legs back to the floor. Take your head down, your arms nice and long. Well done. Are we all warmed up? I certainly am. Okay, just recover here with 3 deep breaths. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's just take a moment to recover. 2 more breaths. Excellent. Okay, and then we're going to grab behind your knee. We're going to roll ourselves up to sitting. Let the momentum of your leg coming down roll you up to that seated position. Okay, we're going to go into rolling back. So let's just do a little prep for this first of all. So we can start with our legs bent. Our feet are going to be flexed. You need the feet flexed to get this strong line down the back of the body. Going to straighten out your arms. Keep the arms down from your shoulders. Going to start by taking a deep breath, sitting up onto those sit bones. Okay, and you're just going to start to spin the pelvis under and start to go back. So we're thinking about the shape that we're making, the C curve that we're trying to make with our body. The belly button's going to push down to the back of the spine and you're going to round through the back. But the fingertips are going to keep reaching forward. Keep those feet flexed, the little toe pulled back towards you. And stretch forward on the way up. Okay, we're going to start taking it back that little bit further. So spinning the pelvis under, pushing that belly button back, creating that C curve with your centre. We're going to come back to where you can feel the bite, and we're going to stretch the fingertips forward, reach past the toes, and sit up. Let's do that one more time. So we're spinning the pelvis under, we're opening up the hip as we're on the way back. Go back to where you can feel, it's about the shape you can make, not how low you can go. Stretch forward. We can keep with this, or we can take our legs long. Keep pushing through the heels, the feet flex, stretching through the fingers. We start up on those sit bones. Start spinning the pelvis under. And before we start rolling back, keep pushing that belly button back. And we're going to roll back to where we can feel the bite. And we're going to stretch up and over, keeping these hips open for as long as possible. Reach forward. Excellent. Keep those shoulders down. Let's do that again. So you start to spin the pelvis under, feel the weight going into the back of the leggings. You're opening up the front of the hip. And we're slowly going down towards the mat. And on the way up, you're keeping the hips open for as long as possible. You're coming up under this low ceiling, stretching down towards the toes. You will see on this video that I'm not very good at counting, so let's just do 2 more. And stretch under. Keep pushing through those heels, those feet are flexed, strengthening the back line of the body. And we stretch forward, up over the toes. We're making a horseshoe shape with our body. Then we're spinning our hips under. And this time we're going to go all the way down to the floor, all with control, slowly. And as you feel your back touch down into the mat, take the arms up and over the head. Excellent, well done. Okay, now we're going to go into the one leg circle. The right leg's going to stay strong into the floor, the foot flex. This is going to be our anchor. Our left leg will come up towards the ceiling. Now we can have a straight leg or a bent knee. It's not about how pretty our leg looks, it's about the motion that we're going to make with the knee. Okay, so arms into the mat. Open up the chest, chin off of the chest. We're going to start to move the leg across the body. So the knee comes across the body, we go down towards the floor, out and round and back to centre. The whole time the leg's moving, the upper body is staying nice and still. This is a move that's about what's not moving instead of what is moving. So the leg comes over, we go down and round to the outside, back to centre. 2 more in this direction. This leg stays nice and flexed, nice and strong. And back round we go, keeping the shoulders down. Now we're going to reverse it. We're going to take the leg out to the side, down and round and up the other side. We can start making it a little bit bigger as the leg comes across the body. We slightly lift that hip at the back. And you've got 3 more. So torso stays nice and still, ribs nice and quiet. This is a stomach exercise, not just about moving the leg. Last one, let's take that hip down, leg down, left leg goes long, foot stays nice and flexed, right foot comes up. As you can see, as you lift this leg, your left hip will hitch. We've got to push the hip down, make the hip level. We want to keep equal length down each side. Okay, so the leg goes across the body, down and round, up the other side. Okay, across, you can have that slight lift of the hip, we go down and round. Everything's staying nice and quiet. Using your arms and your leg as your anchor, going down and round. 2 more. Leg goes over, across the centre of the body, down and round. 1 more in this direction. Excellent. Then the leg's going to go out to the side, down, round and across the body. So the leg falls out to the side, we bring it round and up over the body. Imagine you've got a marker pen on your knee, you're drawing that circle on the ceiling and your thigh bone is just spinning around in that hip socket. You've got 2 more. 1 and last one. Excellent. Let's take that leg down to the floor. We're going to pull this knee into the chest to stretch out those hip flexors. Have a slight tilt under the pelvis to extend up the hip. And we want to be trying to bring the knee as close to the shoulder as we can. We want to be out of that flexibility in the hip. Just take a few breaths. Excellent. And then we're going to switch legs. Bring that knee as close to the shoulder as possible. Slight tip of the pelvis. Open up the front of the hip. Okay. Excellent. All right, so we're going to bring ourselves up to sitting. Again, you can use the back of the hand to bring you up, or we can take the arms up over the head and roll ourselves up to seated. Okay, now we're going to go into rolling like a ball. So we're going to take our hands back behind our legs and keep the elbows wide. This will open up the back and round through the shoulders. Now we're rolling like a ball. The key to this move is to keep into your C curve, keep looking back at your body. So when you roll back, your back doesn't go flat and we can get back up. So let's just do a little prep for that. So we're going to sit high onto the sit bones and we're going to let the weight go into the back of the leggings, round through the back and look back at the tummy. And then we rebuild. Let's do that twice more. So we've got that feeling of making that C curve with the back of our t-shirt, our belly buttons pushing through the back of our spine. And we rebuild. Let's do that one more time. This shape is a key to a lot of the Pilates moves that we'll be doing. So if we can get this right, we can move on and do all the other moves. Okay, so let's go into rolling like a ball. So you start onto your sit bones and then we're just going to roll the pelvis under and shift the weight to the back of the leggings. The feet are going to come off, your elbows are going to go wide. And we lift the feet off, look back at the body, you're going to start to roll back, don't let the head go back, keep looking down at the body, balance at the top. And we're going to roll and come up. You can always put your feet down, but we're going to try and balance. We're going to roll again, and probably moving further and further off the mat. You're going to keep your head as close to your knees as you can as we roll back and balance at the top. Okay, let's do two more like this. So we're going to roll, you've got that roundness in the back. And balance at the tops, pulling that belly button back towards the spine. One more, and we're going to hold it at the top, we're going to hold it there, you're going to take your arms to the front of the ankles. Feel free to put your feet down, but we're going to try and balance. Hold on to the ankles, we're going to extend the right leg, extend the left leg, one more either side, extend the leg, we can take it up to halves. And if we can, you can stay on those one legs, but if we can, come with me, and we're going to straighten both of our legs. Excellent. Keep the weight going backwards and bring the legs down. Fantastic. Each time you do this, you can work up to the moves, you can take down the reps, just feel whatever's good for you. And like I said, if there's anything you want to know, just give me a message. Okay, now we are going to go into our bridge. So we're going to roll down onto the floor, but before we do the bridge, we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. So I've got a hold of a towel. Now, if you've got one of the bands that I use at home, that's great, but a towel is always going to be just as effective. So we're going to roll down onto the mat, take the right foot into the towel, left leg goes long, and you're going to push that leg up towards the ceiling. You're going to hold on with both hands. You want to try and get that foot at that nice flex position. Okay, we can bend and extend into this stretch and just use the towel just to bring that leg a little bit closer to the body. Now, take hold of the towel in the left hand, right hand goes to the floor. You're going to bring that leg across the body. Oh, I can hear you moaning and groaning from your homes now. Never a pleasant exercise, but really good for the hamstrings. You're going to push that foot away from you, bring the toes back towards the front of the leggings. And just breathe into these stretches as you take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just extend the stretch that little bit further. Okay, you're going to take the leg out to the side. Okay. Let the leg drop. Keep this hip heavy into the mat. And bring the leg back through centre. Excellent. Let's change legs. Right leg goes long, left leg up to the ceiling. You can always roll yourself back into these stretches and gradually ease yourself in. Push that heel up, bring the front of the toes back to the front of the leggings. Breathe into the stretch. I'm going to take the towel in the opposite hand, take the leg even, over the body. Stop the torso from twisting, you want to keep the shoulders down. Nice breath in and exhale. I'm going to now take the leg back through centre, swap the hands. Take the leg out to the side. Mind the plant. And try and keep this bum cheek heavy into the mat. Okay, take the leg back through centre and then place the towel to the floor. We're going to go into bridge. Okay, so two parts to the bridge. You've got your feet and your hands to push you up towards the ceiling. We want to start with the heels quite close to the bottom, your feet to be sit bone distance apart, like having a tennis ball in between your toes. Toes parallel, feet parallel, knees talking to each other. Hands down onto the mat. Okay, let's start with a few pelvic tilts. So let all the weight go into the back of your leggings. So you've got that curve of the lower back, and then we're going to spin the pelvis towards you, pull the hip bones towards you, and tuck the pelvis under and flatten your back into the mat. And then take all the weight the other side. So it's like a wave of motion, taking the weight from the front of the body to the back of the body. Tucking under and letting everything go. Just waking up that lower part of your spine. And let's do that one more time. So tuck under and let all the weight go into the back of your leggings. Now this time as you tuck under, you're going to start to peel off the mat. You're going to push into your feet, push into your big toes, push into your hands. You're going to keep tucking under as we peel up. You want to see your hips before you see your ribs. Keep pushing into the mat. Open at the chest, chin off the chest. And then we're going to peel back down into the mat. You're leaving your hips high and the vertebra by vertebra, easy for me to say, vertebra by vertebra, peeling back down into the mat as we peel into the mat and let all the weight then go heavy. You're going to peel up again. So spin, keep tucking, keep spinning the pelvis towards you as if you're trying to get your bottom closer to your heels. Push through your hands, push through your big toes, keep the knees together. And slowly peel yourself back into the mat. Leave those hips high as we peel ourselves back down into the mat. If you're feeling it in your knees a little bit, just add something in between your legs to squeeze on to take the pressure out of your knees and to help you really engage the back line of the body. Let's do that one more time. Keep spinning. You're going to spin under. Keep tucking, keep pushing through those heels, hands. And push into the big toe. Don't forget that big toe connection. Now at the top of the move, push the hips up a little bit more. Push the knees to the wall in front and take the arms up and over the head. Keep those hips high and then start to slowly peel back down into the mat. Take the hands over. Let's do that one more time. Keep spinning the pelvis under. Keep tucking under. We're going to push our hips up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing that belly button back towards the spine. Squeeze the bottom. At the top of the move, take the arms over, stretch the fingertips away, push those hips up that little bit more and start to peel back down into the mat, the ribs touching the back of the mat first and hands come over. Excellent work. Right, let's take the knees in. Just hug the knees in. I'm going to twist from side to side. Okay, and little knee circles. Do 6 in one direction and then 6 in the other. Brilliant. Hope you're all doing okay. Take a break whenever you need to. Let's roll ourselves up to seated. Now, you go into saw prep. Okay, you're going to tuck your left leg up towards you. Your right leg's going to go long. The foot is going to stay flexed. We're going to breathe in, come up to those sit bones. The hand's going to slide down towards the feet. We're going to reach over down towards your toe. Now keep your chest open and your ribs lifted and we come up. 2 more like this. We're going to stretch over. So show me your chest. I don't want you to be here. You want to come up and we come over. 1 more, stretch down towards the toes. Stretch the fingertips away from you. Breathe into the stretch, come up. Okay, this time we're going to bend over, going to stretch away and we're going to twist and we're going to reach towards that little toe, nose goes towards knee and we untwist before we rebuild and we've got that twice more. Reach over, stretch the fingertips away, reach down to the little toe, drop the nose to the knee, twist over and come up. One more time. Stretch down towards the toes. And reach and soar off that little toe. Drop the nose to the knee. Twist and up we come. Okay, let's do the other side. Leg stretches out. Tuck the leg up. And we're going to reach down the toe and make sure your body is turning over the bent knee. And we're going to stretch the fingertips away from you. Send the rib cage up to the ceiling and we're going to rebuild. And again, stretch down that leg, show me your chest and drop the shoulder. We're open, we want to be open and up. One more. And stretch. Come up. This time we're going to add in the rotation, so as you lean towards your foot, the arm comes over, we come across, we try and reach that little toe, soar off that little toe, drop the head, and untwist. Come back up, let's do that twice more. So we come over, we twist, drop the nose to the knee, and rebuild. Keep that foot nice and flat, so we've got the strong line down the back of the leg. And over, and reach, and twist, and rebuild. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to go into some side lying series. Just sort the mat. Alright, we're going to lay down on our side. You can prop your head up on a towel or something like that, or just use your arm or fold your arm in. Now we want to be really long in the body, so think long and lengthened and long and open. The hips are stacked, the shoulders are stacked. Your hand, you're going to put it down where your belly button is to keep you nice and steady. You're going to lift both legs, move them to the front of the mat. The top leg comes back in the midline of the body. Your bottom leg's your anchor, you're going to push that into the floor. Now make sure, just because you've lifted your leg, that the hip hasn't closed down. We're going to push through that leg and make the hip long. You're going to start to lift and lower the leg. Lift and lower. Okay? You've got 4 more, keeping this waist really long. You've got a slight lift off the waist from the mat. And up and lower, the top of the body stays nice and still. Now we're going to start to kick the leg forward. We're going to move the leg forward and swing it back. The upper body stays nice and still. The leg goes back past the back line of the body and we take it forward and bring it back. You can bend the lower knee just to give you that bit more stability. We don't want the shoulders rocking and rolling. You want to keep nice and still. It's important that the leg goes back and we open up the hip. You've got 2 more here. And back past the midline of the body, forward, trying to keep it up at hip height. And then take both legs along again. And we can do little circles. You do 6 in one direction. Keep the upper body nice and still. You've got 3 more. You can point the foot or flex the foot. You'll feel the difference in where you feel the move. And then we're going to reverse it. So reverse that circle, making sure that you are opening up the hip, coming back past that line of the body. 2 more, trying to keep the upper body nice and still. And then bend the bottom knee, take the top knee over, stretch out that glute, take the hand up to the ceiling and twist the body back towards the back of the room. Looking down your arm to get that full twist in the spine. Excellent. Just breathing here into the stretch. Bring the arm back up and over. We're going to roll onto our front. We're going to do a little reverse 100 with our heel beat. So hands down, head rested onto the hand. Turn your feet out into turn out and squeeze those heels together. Send the legs away from you nice and straight. Lift the legs and start beating the heels. Keep those feet flexed, really using the back line of the body, the bottom and the inner thigh. Keep kicking those heels together, keeping those breaths really deep and 3D. In and out. Keep beating those heels. In and out. The lift should come from the back of the thigh, not from the lower back. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Let's push ourselves up. Or you can just roll over, do the other side. I'll bring myself round. So let's do the other side. You're going to go long in the body. Head supported, shoulders over shoulder, hip over hip. Hand where the belly button is. You're going to lift the legs to the front of the mat. Top leg's going to go long. Push it away from you as if you're standing into that hip, into that foot. Okay, we don't want to be here. We want to be long in the waist on both sides. Okay, you're going to start to lift and lower the leg. This leg stays nice and still. Try and get that heel down to the floor. Something I'm working on. And lift and lower. Okay, keep that leg stretched away from you. Hips are still stacked. And 2 more. Brilliant. Last one. And then we're going to keep the leg to the front. So bend the leg in for some support. You're going to bring the leg round to the front and kick it all the way back. Round to the front. You want to try and keep your leg on the same plane the whole way round. Try and keep the shoulder from rolling forward. The torso is staying nice and still. And back. You've got 2 more. And last one. Centered it back, opening up the back of the hip. We've got our leg circles. Take this leg back to that long position. And we're going to circle round. Try and keep the upper body still. Okay, little circles. You've got 2 more in this direction. And let's reverse it. Take the leg around. Just doing small ones for now. Still feeling that inner thigh connection, so the thighs sweeping back past each other. Last 2. And 1. And drop the knee forward. Excellent. Give that glute a rest. Arm up to the ceiling. We're going to take the arm back behind us. Twist through that spine. Let the head look down that arm. And take a few breaths here. Okay, take the hand back up and over. We're going to roll onto our front, do a bit of extension work. If you feel like this is laying on your front, it's coming into your lower back too much, just put a towel under your hips and it'll just tuck your pelvis under a little, take the strain away from your lower back. The arms are just going to come off into a capital E position. Your head is going to go onto the mat. Legs strong behind you. Don't overpoint the toes, but keep the seams of the leggings stuck together. We're going to take an in-breath, and as you breathe in, you're just going to hover the head off of the mat and then lower. Keeping the back of the neck nice and long, don't shut it down. Okay. And as you lift, don't push through the arms at this point. You want the move to come from the back of the neck, like I'm picking you up from the scruff of the neck. And lower. So we can stay here, see how we feel, or we can start pushing into the arms a little bit and extending up into that extension and peeling ourselves back down into the mat. And we come up. And we lower. So gradually feeding the ribs back into the mat. So we don't want to feed it in the lower back. You want to be curling around that mid part of your back, keeping the neck nice and long. And we take the head back down to the mat. Let's do that one more time. And extend. Brilliant. Come back down to the mat. We're going to push up into that kneeled position. Bring the bottom back towards the heels, the crown of the head towards the mat, the nose towards the knees. Hands out in front. And we're just going to go into this rest position. So breathing in through the nose again. Pushing out through the back of the t-shirt, sending the back of the t-shirt up to the ceiling. You're going to get those deep breaths back into the body. Stretch the arms out, or you can take your arms down to the side. Let's do one more deep breath here. Try and get the heels, the bottom close to the heels and into a small ball, the nose close to the knee. Last breath. Okay, you're going to come up onto your hands and your knees. Just sort the wardrobe out. Okay, so hands and the knees, make sure the shoulders are over the hands and the hips are over the knees. And you're just going to push up into that curled up position. Look back at your body, send the back of the t-shirt up to the ceiling. And suck the belly button up towards the spine. And just let everything go as you push the bottom out and extend the head forward. And we're going to do 2 more like that, and round through the back, and lower. Okay, 1 more like this, really push through those hands as if you're pushing the mat away from you, rounding out through the back, and lower. Okay, and then we're going to sit back into that rest position. Come up into that curled up position, move the hands forward and drop the hips under. Okay, tuck the toes under, push the bottom up towards the ceiling. Okay, send the bottom up, look back at the body, take the heels down, come up onto your toes, heels down. And then we're going to walk through those heels. Brilliant. And then slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Let the head and the hands hang heavy. Should be a little bit more stretchier than we were at the beginning. And then we're going to slowly rebuild the spine, tuck that bottom under, using the tummy muscles. Let the head hang heavy and rebuild the spine. Okay. And we are done. So with that, you can work on that, you can repeat it, you can add in more reps, anything like that. Send me a message if you want any help or you want to work on anything else. Just let me know. It's the first video that I've done, so hopefully they might get a little bit better. And yeah, like I said, I hope you're keeping well. Just give me a buzz if you need anything. Thanks.